Yo, what's up, man?
What's up, man? How are you?
Doing good, doing good. It's been a fun week, dude. It's
You
it's
went out
been
of
crazy
town.
back and forth. Yeah, we went out of town. Not in Kentucky. There's where I'm at. It's conveniently located to where all the big cities are like 2 hours away. So we chose Nashville just to go to this rock climbing place.
Hmm.
And rock climbing is difficult, man. Like my hands. You probably can't tell on the webcam, but there's like the calluses are all, and my hands are red, and like just like holding them out right now, they're a little shaky just
Hmm.
because like the grip strength is like just something else, man. It
I've
was
gone
pretty
to
crazy.
rock. I've gone rock climbing before, and I can't like if I look down, I get like anxiety. I can't do it.
Yeah. So once
I don't know.
I guess it was a little bit of fear. Once I overcame the fear that the pulley system was actually going to work, I was
Hmm.
good. The first two times I was like, I didn't want to let go of the rock because I didn't.
Hmm.
I was like, what if the pulley system just happens to not work this time?
Yeah.
I get that it works every time, but what about this time? So once I overcame that fear, then I was just climbing up there, and then if I fell, I fell. It was whatever.
And there's like
But
people. There's people that have like There's people that I've seen that done it because I went to like this professional place back home, and there's people that just do it freelance. So they don't have like it's a lot shorter and there's like a carpet like or like a soft padding on the bottom. But like some people just freelance it, and if they fall, they're like, oh well. For me, I'm like if I fell, I'd tear ligaments in my body.
yeah, it was pretty crazy, man.
Mm.
Um, and then there's like a science to it too. You can't just grab onto whatever. There might not be enough for your body
Yeah,
weight or your grip. It was pretty crazy.
yeah.
I actually have
Because
a video. I'm gonna try to get it on the screen real quick.
you were messaging me. You were messaging me yesterday, and you're like, man, I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm like, why? He's like, because like I'm never going rock climbing again.
Yeah, this not don't wanna. It was crazy, man. But
Okay, okay. Quick feet.
this is the one that I actually accomplished, so I had to post this one.
Mm-hmm.
But the others, I failed miserably. This one's pretty good. I like the purple ones on this one because I could get a good grip. But when
Yeah.
it gets to the top, I almost had to jump for it. I'm not. I'm a normal sized human being, unlike
Yeah.
you. You could probably reach the top from here once you got to this part, right?
Well, it was easy for me because I just would sling my arms open constantly, and I would get there and but like my feet are too big to like somehow to get on the rock sometimes, so I would
Yeah,
slip up a lot because I'm a size 14 shoe, so it would like kind of slip up a bunch of times,
I can
and
see that being a problem
it would look
because
it was. Yeah.
like right here, your foot isn't gonna fit on these little ones right here.
I love how we're like breaking down your movements and stuff like that, like we do this for a living.
we're professional rock climbers.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, like
And
if you came to the podcast, it's not for Star Wars. It's the break. Oh, I thought you fell there. It's the breakdown rock climbing.
yeah. So there we go. That's
That was
that.
fun though. That's fun.
But man, it
Nice.
was fun, man. I had a good time.
Yeah, it's nice to like obviously like get out the house a little bit. Obviously during a time like this, we're obviously inside a
Yeah.
lot. So it's nice to just step outside, just do some fun
And
activities.
it's one of those where uh, you're reasonably spaced. Like there was probably like 20 people, and it's as big as a basketball court. So it's
Yeah,
like we were all like next to each other, breathing our own. Everyone's
yeah,
breathing everybody's air. So
yeah,
it's definitely. I recommend it, guys. If you have a rock climbing place, it's definitely something that you could do during the COVID-19 time.
yeah.
Um, so how was your week, man? How was your
It
week?
was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. We did a lot of fun activities. We had our 8-month streaming anniversary yesterday, so that was fun. Like it doesn't feel really real. I mean, you have. I'm a rookie. My account is just rookie numbers compared to yours, but celebrating 8 months is a lot of fun, and just to believe that it's been 8 months of just like the best 8 months of my life. It was just so much fun, just being able to spend time with everybody. We played a little marbles on stream.
Mhm.
We did you gave me you let me know, but we had a Minecraft community night, which was really fun, and I'm gonna convince you eventually to play. It's actually not that bad. It's actually a
I
fun game.
I really wanted to
I'm gonna show you something.
because I showed you that. So there's everybody knows, or most people know in the gaming community, they know who Optic Gaming is. They're like
Mhm.
it's just a gaming franchise that sponsors competitive teams, and
Mhm.
on their free time, whether they're on the Call of Duty team, the Overwatch team, or whatever it is they do, they
Mhm.
play Minecraft together and they stream it all. So there'll be 20 Optic Gaming people streaming at the same time, all streaming
Mhm.
Minecraft. And I thought that'd be really fun for like the Star Wars community to do one day.
Yeah, we built Vader's castle. This is literally what we built.
Yo, that's
and
awesome, man.
and like this was like no, this isn't what we built. This is like the image that we tried to get ideas from. But we this is like some of it. So we had some like pictures. We were just like trying to get an idea. Ignore this. This was just like a little walkway. That's actually me right there.
Yeah.
And you actually let me. switch this real quick. I'm going to show you something really cool. You can actually, I didn't know this, there's like a selfie mode. So I made my character, look like Ahsoka, duh. But look at this. Check this out. So I'm going to show you some really, really cool pictures. We were going to do like a survival mode in the beginning, but like we said, okay, you know what? Let's just like build Vader's castle. And it actually became really fun. So like we're going to do more of these, and we might build like, I don't know, like the Jedi Temple. We might build, I don't know. We have a couple ideas, but like this is the outcome of it. This is how it came out. And we might do some, little rendering, a little maybe last minute edits, but this is how it looks like all in all. That's how it came out. And
that's good.
For me, maybe it could be a little longer. We'll see. I'll probably maybe make some tweaks, but for me, it looks perfect. I'm trying to think. I know there was more pictures. We took like little selfies. See, like that's me. That's like the selfie mode, and like it was actually like so much fun. It was actually so much fun. And like, look, like I'm obviously Ahsoka, Captain Rex. Santo, we have some different characters, which was really cool.
I really wanted to be there, man. I really wanted to do it.
No, you didn't. I
swear I was going to be in there.
Get out of here.
Because I want to, like the optic videos, man, they really got me hyped. And I swear I watched it's an old video. This is like 5-6 years ago. It's called Hunting Optic. So they had 3 people, Scump, Nadeshot, and Hex, and they were hunted by a syndicate. And so all 3 of the optic people started on one side of the island, and then the other guy started on the other side, and then he just hunted them because he was a Minecraft player. The other 3 didn't even know how to play at the time. So it was a real fun series, man. And I think that, if we got like 20 Battlefront 2 streamers and we just all decided to stream Minecraft for one day, people will be forced to watch it.
There's a squad stream coming around the corner. Nothing's impossible.
Yeah, nothing is impossible.
But for you and I, we'd be okay with it. But we also have to convince 2 other people that.
Well, the person running the ship for that week has say so.
That's true. This is an X-wing that was built from diamond. There was like some really cool ones. This was like in the when we were first started. So like it was like memories. It's like really a fun time. Like, and it was actually a lot of fun. We're definitely gonna do it more often. Thinking about incorporating some different games as well. Maybe Sea of Thieves. Maybe some like games that we just never play. Or that would normally not be on stream, but just have fun with them.
Yeah, off stream, man. There's so many possibilities if you can get the right game. Like when Halo was going really strong, there was some. It's called Forge. So you have your multiplayer, you have campaign, you have custom games, and you have Forge. Forge is a creative space to build your own maps. Well, people started building. They called it Indiana Jones run. So they would build like a Fall Guys type map for Halo, and then we'd get. You can get 16 people in a lobby, and then you would all start at the beginning, and then you would go, and then the person who gets to the end is Indiana Jones, and we did that all the time, man. And the memories of those lobbies are some of the best memories I have in gaming, and I feel like that's a lost art, and that when Halo Infinite comes out and you're doing it with Minecraft, that we can reestablish those type of like nostalgic gaming moments, and then with our communities, man. I mean, it'd just be amazing. Because then now when those Minecraft people come to your stream, they have a better connection with you and with the other people that were in the Minecraft lobby.
It was just about having a fun time and really getting to know everybody more and just really just enjoying, just taking time out of our whatever it may be. I mean, if you had a stressful week, you had a stressful week of school, whatever the case may be, just having fun with friends. And all of us were in a voice channel. We set up 2 separate voice channels just in case, but it was just one big fun event. And this definitely won't be the last one. And the goal out of this was for everyone to convince me to stream it. I will stream it one day. I don't know anytime soon.
Yeah. Because I'm with you, man. You want to be proficient in what you're doing to stream it. And
I don't want to be trash. I was not that good at the game. I wasn't. But one thing I take pride in is my creativity. So it was my idea to let's make Vader's castle. And that's for me, that was just something I saw lava. I was like, I want Mustafar. I'm like, okay, this is it. And then others were building a whole Daisy Ridley hotel. Everyone was just having fun, just doing their own thing. And that's what for me, it's just literally I never understood it at first. I'm like, oh my god, the graphics doesn't even look that good. I need a game with good graphics. But I'm like, okay, when I started playing, I'm like, okay, it just allows you to expand your creativity. And it literally incorporates Star Wars. You can literally download mods on here. And you know how big you and I are on mods. So it's
oh yeah.
It's the perfect thing.
But if I can have a Revan mask, sign me up.
Exactly. And I think you can. I honestly think you can. That's the crazy part. I will look into that for you.
somebody could easily make me a 2D artwork of Revan, and I'll slap it on his face.
Exactly. But no, I'm so happy you had a great week. It was definitely really one to remember. It was so much fun.
And the streams, man, the streams have been going really well. Like Wednesday, we just had a good time, and the talks have been getting more in-depth Star Wars than just the base layer Star Wars. It's almost like I've been getting, obviously we're all in each other's streams. Like the Star Wars talks are now starting to evolve in your stream, Director Chronic stream, everybody's stream, to where it's almost like a podcast as well, because we were talking about what if duels, like just radical what if duels, Dooku versus Bane and stuff like that. And then it makes you think about what each character brings to the table. And it was a fun stream, man. And it made my ideas flow for future content as well. So we'll see where it goes.
Well, that's the thing about Star Wars, though. That's the basis of Star Wars. They leave so much on the table. They leave so much so that you can explore, because it's supposed to explore your imagination. And I've said this before. I think I said this last week in the spoiler alert for Rebels in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Maul and Kenobi's final duel. It was left on there on purpose so that you were thinking, oh my God, did Maul turn good at the end, or is he still evil? Is he always evil? And that's something you'll think about for centuries. And that's what they do on purpose, so you can explore your mind. I think the most common topic, I think everyone talks about the most, is what if Yoda dueled Anakin and the roles were switched? You know what I mean? Like how was it originally supposed to go? And people that's like one of the most talked about topics, and it's just Star Wars just exploring your imagination. And this is how I kind of liked it with this. It was like just explored your creativity, and it all ties in somehow or another. And I think that's what not only is it what streaming is about, that's what Star Wars is about, that's what Twitch is about, and it's just really a lot of fun. And I'm so happy I had a good week as well.
So before we hop into the topic of the podcast, which guys is going to be our favorite characters and our top duels, what's that hoodie you got on right there?
This is our Break the Beach hoodies. We have we've been giving out a few t-shirts of them over the past few streams. We do have some more, as well as some hoodies as well that we're going to be giving out. So these are really, really cool, and we even have.
I like the hoodie, how it's like yellow in the hood.
Cool little Grogu and
dig it.
Little patches as well. So it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's really comfortable too. It's really comfortable. I used to play sports, so it's like kind of like this athletic type of fabric where it's just like really tight fit and it's just snug, and it's just hanging out, just having a good time right now.
One that you could wear while you're gaming, because I always get like my hands and like everything gets cold, but I don't want like a thick hoodie on sometimes, so you can just chill.
Yeah, we're controller players, remember that?
Yeah. I know in my poor hands today on the climbing, I was like, I gotta protect these things. This is,
Which controller do you have?
I just have the a basic Xbox One. I am gonna be getting a new one for Halo, and it's gonna be a sick one.
Listen, I didn't realize how important it was when it comes to controllers. I'm gonna show you my old one, and I'm gonna show you my new one.
There it is.
Yeah. See, there's a lot that goes into it, and I was wondering, cause sometimes my hands would hurt afterwards, right? I am like when I was gaming for a long period of time. This was the one that I had. This is the one that I would use every single day for the past 4 months, and it was good for long durations. But I'm telling you, man, if you're gonna invest in a controller, this Razer controller is I've never seen anything like it in my life. It is
are the sticks, or is it? Oh, your camera's reversed, isn't it? Oh, when I'm looking at you, right?
Oh, really? No.
Show me your controller real quick, because I about freaked out. Okay, yeah. It's to me, it's triple. It's the sticks are different.
And
I was like, what the?
You know what the crazy part about it? It's a whole different feel. These two buttons right here, right?
The throttles.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, this right here, these two right here. This is a jump button and this is a roll button.
Yeah, you see it.
Which is actually crazy that you need to adjust to. And there's just so many gadgets with this thing. I'm going to be honest, you could play for 12 hours and you won't even feel a little smidge in your hands. Yeah. It's beautiful. I would recommend it.
So for any Warrior Nerd followers in here, I guess I'll just go ahead. So they know one of the projects we're doing this summer is a Revanite Saber. The only thing that I have say in is the purple blade. That's the only thing I want. The hilt and everything else will be designed by Revanites, and then I'm going to get it made, and then, of course, it's going to sit right here. So it'll be the Revanite Saber. I'm going to do the same thing with the controller.
That's going to be so cool.
Yeah, I'm going to have a design on the controller, and it's going to be for Halo, because
that's going to be so sick.
One of my pregame rituals, I guess you could say, is I get a new controller before every new Halo game because I know I'm going to put in the hours and I don't want anything to stop that. So that's definitely on the list of things to do.
It's going to be exciting. That's going to be exciting.
So you want to do characters or the duels first?
We can do characters first.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is, so for those that are just tuning in, we're going to drop in our top 5 characters ranked from 5 to 1. Similar to how we did the films, and we'll just get into some tools and just have a good time. So, and then we'll do similar to last time. We'll do a Q&A segment towards the end, and also a little bit of a special type of surprise announcement, I guess you could call it. Yeah, so that'll be cool.
A little tiny, a little baby one.
Yeah.
So, did you add Legends characters in this at all?
I didn't. Well, I mean, I don't. You know me. I love Legends, but I'm more canon, so I could include the Legends characters. Please include them, please.
Okay.
But
because the 2 that I included are technically canon, but they don't have their Legends story anymore.
Yeah,
they're just base layer characters.
For me, I haven't really dove into Legends as much yet, and the main reason why I'm so motivated to is because of you. So thank you. You and Emmy are the ones that have been pushing me, so I will be definitely. But for now, I'm just going to keep it canon. That's just me. But if you want to start it off, you can with number 5, and I'll go right in, and we'll rotate.
Let's see. Number 5, I have Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay,
that's what I put.
Okay,
so I'll actually want to say the ones that didn't make the cut. Like I want to go ahead and just get those out of the way. I have a top 5, and then I made a top 10. So 10 would be Mace Windu. 9 is Darth Bane, Legends Darth Bane, Chewbacca, Vader and Anakin, and Luke Skywalker. So they did not make, and that's in the order. So Mace would be 10, Luke Skywalker would be 6. I just wanted to get those out there. So and it was tough, man. So Obi-Wan Kenobi's number 5 for me.
And why so? I'm just
because he is to me, right. He to me is like the Jedi that everyone looks up to Yoda, but I feel like it's just because of the title Grand Master. Kenobi is the one that's in the field doing almost all the work. And I know Yoda has 900 years of hard work put in, but at the current time period, Kenobi's the one that he's in the field. He's fighting Sith Lords. He's training the Chosen One, which is a task in itself, which was Kenobi even the right answer? Should he even have had a master? I feel like the whole Jedi Council should have had equal parts in training a Chosen One. You know, they should have took responsibility on that. And Kenobi did what he could, and then he literally lives through the Clone Wars, gets to A New Hope, and he's a very pivotal part of the show. And he's a Jedi's Jedi, man.
I agree with that. I'm pulling up mine right now, for top 10, because if we're talking about top 10. Okay, so I'm going to do the same ones that didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren, Din Djarin, Rey, Obi-Wan, and Sabine Wren.
Okay.
Those are the ones that didn't make those are the ones that didn't make
Din for me, those characters are awesome. Rey is awesome, but I could not take away a Legends character or original trilogy character to put Din in there because I really wanted Din. I love Din, but I couldn't make that choice. Even Ahsoka for me was tough because
I know you couldn't.
I love Ahsoka too, but there's just so many that take precedence for me.
There's so many amazing characters that that stick with you over time. So it's hard. This is why when it comes to the films, it's a little more easier. But when it comes to characters, it's just I will make my list and then I'll be oh my God, I just forgot one. Or, oh my God, I just forgot. You know what I mean? And okay, now I have to go back and you know what I mean? It's just it's funny stuff like that. So you have to laugh about it. Okay, so, all right, shocker alert. So my number 5 is actually Bo-Katan. That's number 5. Yeah, shocker alert, right?
No way, man.
I know. Broke everything with that. No, I like her, and the reason why I like her as a character so much was because of what I liked her persona. I did like her persona of things. I liked her how she was just a tough character, and there's something about me that I just really love. I really admire what the female character in Star Wars represents. How they have normal most female characters in Star Wars just have a strong character and a strong character development, and that includes Bo, that includes Ahsoka, that includes Rey, that includes even smaller characters like Fennec Shand, and they just carry this sick, badass, type of character. And I just love her growth. I love seeing her in live action. I think her in live action was absolutely phenomenal. I think Katie Sackhoff is an amazing actress as well as an amazing voice actress. I mean, just to have that character that you've like grown with this character over 8 years, whenever she was introduced.
I wonder if they designed her cartoon character based upon her actual.
I wonder. Well, I mean, she did. I mean, she doesn't originally have red hair. She has, I think, she has blonde hair, but they put a wig on her and it looked.
Yeah, it worked out because
Yeah,
I don't think there's a better cartoon to live action than her, man. I thought it was like, I mean, you can't get better than that.
That's what I'm saying. I like her. I like her hard. Like I like that she's very like, I don't know. She hasn't. She's. You could almost see her as a villain. Like she's a villain. Like she's a hero at some points, but she's also a villain. And I like that. I like that turn from bad to good. When we first saw her, not many people liked her because of how she carried herself. But like I kind of kept an eye out, and then slowly but surely you see her turn, her attitude towards Obi-Wan, and she's like, "Oh, my sister, I thought she meant something to you." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like little parts like that stuck with me. And I know her role in Siege of Mandalore was not as big as Ahsoka's and Rex's, but it still showed. And I always liked her character. I always liked what she was about. Her armor, amazing. And seeing her in Mandalorian was great. So that's just always been a character that kind of stuck with me.
That was going to be one of my questions is if she does turn, you said she's a villain, but she hasn't really done villainous type things like a Vader would. If she turns out to be a villain when it comes time to like rule Mandalore, would your opinion change on her, or would it deepen because it's just like a good character arc?
Well, that's actually a really good question because it all depends how they approach it. I don't think they're going to ruin the character for anybody because remember it would be really like, think about it as a story from a storytelling perspective. They actually started her off going against Ahsoka. And everyone by that time already started to get feelings for Ahsoka, started to love the character. Like this is like season 3, season 4. People are starting to like her now. And they're like, oh, this girl, this character is posing against Ahsoka. Like, nah, like, you know what? I don't like that and whatever. So she already had a villainous approach in that first appearance. And then she started to go good and good and good. I don't think they're going to bring her back down. That's just me. And her going against her really having like something against a fan favorite character, Din Djarin, Mando, it would be kind of hard,
Yeah.
So
it'd be tough.
I don't think they're going to go that route. But if they did, I don't think anything could change my opinion on the character. I love the character a lot. And like I said, the actress that portrays her has a lot. It has a lot to do with it. It has a lot to do with it for me, just of how phenomenal she was portrayed. But that's my number 5.
I dig it. So my number 4, I needed a villain in my top 5, and Vader didn't make the cut. So the only other villain that's worthy of a top 5 is Palpatine. And Palpatine to me, I did that video, the origins of Sheev, and it really deepened it. But he was already like a top character for me because I think out of any pop culture movie, I think Darth Sidious, Palpatine, the Emperor, Sheev, Palpatine, whatever you want to call him, is the most well done and overall villain. He's mysterious. He's the smartest out of any character, even over Yoda. He's the most intelligent, manipulative, planning. He's a planner. I mean, that man sees 20 years in the future. He knows what he wants to do for breakfast 20 years from now. That's how much he plans. And I think that he's worthy of a top 4. And then he's not weak too. Like if he needed to get out of his throne and fight, which he never does because he doesn't have to. But when he does, he's going to probably kill you. So I think that's why he's a top character for me. And Ian McDermott is an amazing actor. The fact that he was 40 years old and wears that in Return of the Jedi, wears that a way to age him, and then he can replay his character years later in the Phantom Menace all the way through the 40, prequels.
37 years later.
Yeah, and then look the part still. I mean, I don't think that's ever been done in cinema history, to play an old character as a young guy, then play the old character when you're older. Like that, it's just so weird.
My question for you is, which out of every film, which is your favorite Palpatine? Excluding Clone Wars and
Return of the Jedi, Palpatine is my favorite, but Revenge of the Sith is really good because you can see him as both layers. You have him as Palpatine, a friend of Anakin, in quotations, and then you have him as Darth Sidious, and then you have him as Emperor Palpatine at the very end. So you see all three transition within the hour. So it's really good.
Did you like his appearance in Rise of Skywalker?
In Rise of Skywalker, yes, I did. I thought it was really cool to look at. I thought when he zapped the dyad in the Force and like he started growing again, I thought that was really creative.
It was.
I love the throne. The throne in Rise of Skywalker is a good concept art from Ralph McQuarrie. So the homage to it just made me like super nerd out.
Yeah.
I like the design. Could he have had a better ending? 100%. That's his only downfall in all 9 movies. His only downfall is his ending. I know it's probably far-fetched, but I know they could do it based upon other things I've seen. A lightsaber battle, man. Just give him a saber. He's now, you can't say, well, he's too old or he's weakened. He just took the dyad of the Force and then zapped it into. So to me, he's rejuvenated. He is whole again, so he could do whatever he wanted to. So whip out a lightsaber and get to work. And I think a solo Rey and Palpatine duel would have been fantastic, man. I don't think there could have been a better ending. I think that would change people's outlooks of the sequels completely. I don't want to get into what ifs, though. That's the only downfall in all 9 movies, which is a lot. That's his only downfall.
You know what I could have seen? I could have seen like a type of sequence of a Palpatine. You know how Palpatine faced Maul and Savage? A type of sequence of Palpatine versus Rey and Kylo, but like similar, like just like a similar sequence to how it was with. Yeah, I'm not getting too deep into it about ending or anything. Like that would have been like something cool as well. It's just like
it's a good what if, and when you visually picture that in your mind, you can't say it's not cool. So I think that's worthy. So what's your number 4?
Captain Rex for me. Rex is my
4th. A clone, a human being.
What Rex is for me is I just looked up to him so much as a character. I still do. I love. There's just so many sequences where you just see like it was what did it for me. One of the things that I like really love so much was his friendship with Anakin. And that was one thing that always stuck with me. And when we saw season 7, and it was just little, like you can pay attention to those like little details, like when Obi-Wan tells Anakin like, oh yeah, by the way, I hope you tell Padme I said hello, and then Rex makes his face. It like kind of showed that he knows what's up, he knows what's going on, and it showed that he was just more than just a clone. It was more than he was just a number, CT7567. It was more than he was just a number. He was a human being. He had a personality. And when they formed it to season 7, it was literally, if you look at season 7 is Ahsoka's and Rex's season. Like, it's not Anakin's season. It's not Obi-Wan's. It's for those two characters. The point of Siege of Mandalore was supposed to show Rex and Ahsoka's point of view, Ahsoka's and Rex's point of view during the Revenge of the Sith, during Order 66. Mm-hmm. And when we see the tears he sheds in Siege of Mandalore, when he has to execute the order, or when Ahsoka takes off his helmet, and said all of his brothers are in there ready to fire at them. Little scenes like that stick with me so much. And obviously, season 7 is my favorite season. But even throughout the first 6 seasons, when he loses all his brothers, he loses all of them. The Domino Squad. It's called the Domino Squad because they all fall down like dominoes. And then in Bad Batch, when he has to look at Echo and go along, and Rex knows that like he was so excited to find his brother. He was so determined. And he told Anakin, he said, I know he's there. I know he's alive. I sense it. I know he's alive. And he gets his brother. He has him. He's so excited to have him. He's pale. He has all these cords to him. Yeah. But like, you should have seen the face he made, like when he left to go to the Bad Batch, because he knows he's part of them. He's no longer a brother. He lost his last standing brother. And it broke him, and he lost everything. He lost Jesse. He lost everything, and he still managed to stay on top. And it's a similar thing. I see it somehow like Obi-Wan in a different like perspective. How Obi-Wan lost everybody, and it was still managed to stay good. Rex the same exact way. I loved him in Rebels.
Yeah, tough life, because I think for him, for the other clones, they don't really show the emotion past Order 66 for the clones. Yeah. I think that when Order 66 happens, they commit it, and then they're completely okay with it because their brain is washed, right? So they don't have any type of effects from it, because Rex got to experience it as a clean mind. He's the only clone that experiences the depression and the downfall of what happened. Everybody else is just like, well, we were just commanded to kill the Jedi. We did, and that's it. What do you want to have for dinner? But Rex is the only one that can comprehend what happened because he doesn't have that little blocker in his brain. So he's the most tragic out of the clones, and we don't really know his ending yet. But I think that it's a good pick, man. I really dig that one.
I just love his character. Obviously, we know. I'm actually going to show you something in a second right now. Dee Bradley Baker, phenomenal. Yeah. I think Dee Bradley Baker is amazing. The fact that he can, and you know what's really cool? That what Dee Bradley Baker even said? He said that like every single clone, he doesn't portray every single clone the same. He finds a word to describe each and every clone. And I forgot the exact word he said for Rex, how he describes it. But I think he said something along the words of strong or tough. And this is the persona he brings for each and every clone. So if you listen to the voice and the expressions of each clone, it's all different. None of it is the same. And that's really, really interesting because like the fact that you did a voice for over hundreds of different characters and you're still, you put a personality to each. It's beautiful.
I know you know this. Ashley had an interview where she said the same thing. Young Ahsoka, middle-aged Ahsoka, and then all the Ahsoka she played like in Rebels. Each has a different tone of maturity in each voice, which is really cool.
I wanted to show you something, and I know you're going to laugh because I'm not going to even get into this because I know where this is going to go. I'm not going to talk about R7 because you've seen to it that R7 is whatever. But one thing I want to show you, I don't know if you knew this.
For anyone in the chat, if you are an R7 Guardian, you are failing the Jedi Temple.
Okay. This is at the end. No, don't laugh. This is at the end of season 7, right? And this is a screenshot. Rex and Ahsoka is obviously by the clone helmets, and R7 is right here. And a lot of people think it's like a lot of rumors. People say that there's a reason why R7 is there. It's because they were going to repair him.
That'd be good.
I think it's just like literally just outside of the box. But like they're not going to put this detail under the Y-wing for no reason, the Republic Y-wing for no reason. I think that like they would repair him because obviously you see him get shot out the wazoo basically and all the madness. Don't let me start on that part because that part was actually emotional. Like but I think that they might repair R7. Our lovely beloved droid, that's our community droid. If you guys don't know, it's R7 is in the Discord server, and he makes the Discord server what the Discord server is.
All I know is that R7. All I know is that R7 repeatedly gets kidnapped. He dies, but I mean, how often does HK-47 get kidnapped? It just doesn't happen.
I literally have the tab open right now. 2 people are hanging out with R7 right now, so it just shows you he's strong. R7's strong. Don't.
I can deploy a few.
No, but I just love Rex. That's just me. And obviously for me, what Clone Wars means to me. So
it's a good pick. It's a good pick.
Thank you.
Number 3 for me is the only non-Force user in my top 5, and it's Han Solo. I think that Han is the character made to show you that me and you could be into the Star Wars universe and survive. So he does, he's in through the original trilogy all the way through the sequel trilogy, and he can compete directly against Force users, whether that be in space battles because he's an excellent pilot. He has exceptional luck, whether that could be the Force or not, depending on however you look at it. But and just his charisma and his attitude, I just think it's always funny. He's the relief, and he's like, I try to live a stress-free life as much as I can. Yeah. And when they're on the Tidarian shuttle and Chewbacca's freaking out, he's like, "This isn't gonna work." He's like, "Just fly casual, just fly normal." And he's just trying to keep everyone calm because he knows if they stick to the plan, it's gonna work. And Han Solo's he's just too cool, man. He's too cool. And then the opening scene in A New Hope, he's just chilling, lets Chewbacca talk to people, and he brings him the business, and he's like, "You never heard of the Millennium Falcon?" And this gets right to it, man. I love it. I love Han Solo.
I like what you say. Like it makes you like it's like a type of thing where you see his character, you're like, oh, if he can be in Star Wars, I can be in Star Wars. You know what I mean? I think he's like the most relatable character to any of us, in terms of like not being a Skywalker, not being a Palpatine, not having any blood genetics, just being you, just being a simple man trying to make his way in the universe.
Really,
I think that's like similar with many other characters. Boba Fett can be an example. I mean, but at the same time, even Boba Fett has like Mandalorian background, Mandalorian genetics, clone genetics. So obviously everything, this is I think Han is like, and maybe Lando as well, are the only people that like actually are still the most relatable in terms of like being in a Star Wars universe. And I like that a lot. Or any of the officers or any of like Grand Moffs such as Tarkin or, Gideon or, like we don't know so much about Gideon's backstory, but like, those characters like that are the most relatable, I would say. And that's really, I like that. I really like that a lot.
The one scene that always gets me too is when they're planting the trip mines or bombs in Endor. A force user, that dude comes around the corner, boom, force push, we take care of it. The only thing he can do is throw the detonator at him, which doesn't do anything except knock one guy off, and then now they're still in the same predicament. They get captured. I think that's just cool because what would we do in that situation? Maybe you pull your blaster and try to fight, get everybody. Then you're in a firefight. But the fact that he just throws that at him and he falls off the ledge is, this is what a human would do in that situation. I think it's really cool.
You have to start playing as more in Battlefront soon. I'm telling you, I recently just started getting into him. I don't know. I never was the biggest Han player, but he's actually like.
Oh, he's a tank if you can use the shoulder rush with the detonator. And I actually have Jyn Erso overlapping him on a mod right now, which is pretty cool. Because Jyn barely almost made the top 10, but she didn't. Because I just couldn't put a new character.
That's a good pick. And when we're done with the top 5, I kind of just want to like sprinkle a little bit on the last 5 that we had in the top 10, but that's a good pick as well.
So who's your
my number 3? My third is Darth Maul, and the reason why I have Maul is because I just love I just want more of the character. It's that type of a thing for me, but I just love his story. I love like how he was cast aside.
So he's not oversaturated to you because Maul's not in my top 10. I don't even think he'd be in my top 15.
Yeah,
and I love Maul. Like. Of course, I would like almost every single character in Star Wars, but man, like when a new action figure comes out, you can almost bet it's probably going to be Maul or something like that.
Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna show you something real quick that I have, just like because I actually like started reading some of the Maul comics, and I'm gonna show you one in specific that I read that's really really cool. Just give me like 2 seconds. Hold on 1 second.
Kids, I see you, man. The Maul. We have eradicated R7. Yeah, guys, we were at war with the Jedi Temple taking R7. So if you don't know what that is, go to the R7 chat. We got that comic book.
Yeah, I have like a bunch over here. Okay, hold on.
Maul is the GOAT.
Yeah. So these are like all my comics right here. So this one specifically, it's these 2. I don't think they're in order, but these 2 specifically right here that I picked up from the comic book shop. It basically explains his story kind of a little bit before the Phantom Menace, and it was explaining how like he needed to keep himself as like hidden as possible, because they literally, as he says in the Phantom Menace, he says, "At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we'll have revenge." He couldn't reveal himself, and he actually came across this Jedi right here, Twi'lek, and basically that you see on the poster, and she basically caught him. She basically knew he was a Sith. And she was like, a Sith? Like, oh, well, like, don't worry, you have my word. I won't say anything. And it basically came down to a nutshell where he ended up killing her because to protect his identity. And it's just, I love his, like, from these type of little things like this, like little comics like these. And then moving on into like his role in Phantom Menace was not large. Obviously,
did he want to kill her, or was it like a firm decision? Oh, she knows I have to kill her.
Basically, yeah. I only read it once. I am like planning on rereading all these. These are a few that I have right here that I actually picked up. That I'm actually so glad I picked up. I still haven't read yet. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 from Galaxy's Edge alone. Like Galaxy's Edge.
I need to get that Marvel app because it has a lot of Star Wars comics on there. I think that'd be the easiest way.
Yeah.
because I used to collect comics too, and they they might be $4 or $5, but that starts adding up.
It's beautiful. I have a few Vader ones as well. The Vader ones are amazing, as well as I don't know if you've read it. I don't have the full collection of it, but the Rise of Kylo Ren, probably one of the best comics out there.
Yeah.
And lastly, the one that I haven't read because I'm really big. I'm really like a hard copy type of person. I don't like to have it in. I don't like to read it like online. That's just me. I'm weird like that. But one comic that you really need to read, that I need to read as well, The Son of Dathomir. That's basically Maul's story post duel with Palpatine before Siege of Mandalore. So how the Mandalorians got him, how he got escaped, everything. That's basically what it touches on. But honestly, his character and how they revived his character. I even have the DVD from his season 4. But I think his character for me, he's such a broken character. He's been cast aside by literally everybody, and he still manages to stay on top with no legs, but he still manages to stay on top.
Those are some pretty good droid legs, though.
And I just love Sam Witwer. Sam Witwer portraying him is like he's so talented, and like he really puts all his energy. If you look at like behind the scenes when he's in the recording studio, like in the voice studio. You literally see his, like, if you look at his facial expressions, he's so into it, and like he looks angry.
It hurts my voice.
It's intimidating. It's
like
intimidating.
The scream is insane, man. And Sam Witwer is a boss actor. Like he deserves anything that Sam Witwer can get his hands on for content. He deserves it.
He's just such an amazing. He portrayed, and even Ray Park, who's an amazing. He portrayed him amazingly as well. And we're seeing all these teasers. He's posting a new picture every single day of Darth Maul. I don't know what's going on. I don't think Disney would allow. I think he's just teasing, just from Solo, just trolling a little bit. That's just my opinion on it, but. I don't think Disney would allow him to do it based on contract. But I mean, for me personally, I'm just like, this character for me, he's been through so much. He's been casted aside by his master, the people he looked up to. When he sends Palpatine again, the first thing he said was master. Like he was like, oh my God, like I actually like, please, like, hello, it's me. Remember me? And Palpatine's like, yeah, sorry, only 2 there are, no more, no less. See you around, kid. That's basically what it was. But yeah, overall, I just love Maul.
His story, even though he might not be alive anymore, his story's not over. They're going to fill in all the gaps they can with Maul.
Oh yeah.
And it's exciting.
They might even bring. How many Clone Wars arcs are unfinished, not rendered yet because they haven't finished them yet. They might even bring we might get a teaser of him in the Bad Batch. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like we don't. Like there's just so many possibilities. We might even see him in Ahsoka's, not Ahsoka series, but in the Kenobi series or in something, And there's just so much room for this character over the next few years, and I think he's a fan favorite for many, and that's why I rank him number 3. I love him.
All right. So we are now in the top 2.
I think I know your number 1 and number 2.
I know you're number 1 and number 2. So my number 2, of course, is Yoda.
Really? I mean, I know that, but like.
Who did you think it was?
I thought you were going to say Nihilus, but
no. Number 2, Nihilus. I have Darth Bane over Nihilus. I have things planned for Bane, but Bane to me, because there's a connection between Revan and Bane. Nihilus and Revan they might have seen each other in the Mandalorian Wars as Jedi, but they never go hand in hand.
Yeah,
Bane is a direct Bane. So if we go back to 2014, before Disney bought Star Wars, the Emperor's Rule of 2 with Vader, all of that is literally created from Revan's holocron. So Darth Bane finds Revan's holocron, establishes the Rule of 2. Darth Bane reestablished that with the thought bomb, kills all the Sith, and it's just him and Zana. And then that new philosophy literally carries on all the way to the Emperor. Which now that I know, because I've done more research, the Emperor was doing a fake Rule of 2. He's actually doing a Rule of 1. He was never giving Vader like the true power. But it's cool, man. So when I used to watch the movies, I used to think like that. Like, man, this is Revan's Sith here. But with the new Disney, who knows how they're going to go with it. But Yoda's my number 2. Because he's
I know you love Yoda. I knew.
If I'm a youngling in the Jedi Temple, I want Yoda to be my Jedi.
No. You don't want to be a youngling in the Jedi Temple.
Yeah, okay. If I'm a youngling years before Anakin's born,
Okay.
I want to be. Okay. If I'm a youngling on some other Jedi enclave and Yoda could be my teacher, that's who I want him. That's who I want to be because he knows the most. He's the most well respected, and I think that even though we don't see it, you can imagine off screen that any mission you go on, you want Yoda on your team, and so that's why I want him. And then I'm a firm believer that with preparation, Yoda can beat anybody, man. With proper preparation. Like he's going into the playoffs. He has the game tape and the plays and the play calls. Yoda can counter anything.
I agree with that. I just can't see with a character like Yoda. With a character like this is how, and this is just I play basketball. This is just how I relate it, right? And I'm just gonna see it like this. Kobe Bryant, right? He was like my idol growing up, and I see Yoda as a Kobe Bryant. You just can't see him defeated. You just can't. Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Power.
See, I just see like when I would read books on Kobe Bryant, when I would study his film, I would spend nights awake just studying how he had his charisma, how he carried himself as a human being and as a person, as more so than just a player. And this is kind of like with Yoda. I see it in the same retrospect because I relate them so well because I just can't see a character like this defeated. You know, I can never see them lose. Because I only look at them so high. So when we saw, and again, I don't want to like touch too much into it, but like when we saw like, you know, Yoda's passing on screen, it brought me the same type of feel because I'm like, how does this person is so powerful. He's so strong. How can we ever see him go? And like we did. And like it sticks with you. It actually sticks with you. And that's why it makes Yoda's death really one of the most sad. Like really it hits you so hard. And there's already so much going on in that film. Yeah. There's so much going on in that film. And what happens after, like towards the end of that film as well, it's just so, he's such a powerful character. I mean, even seeing him in The Last Jedi, I think that was one of the best scenes in The Last Jedi, seeing him again, which was amazing, see him as a Force ghost. And just to see, we get him all across every single era, original prequels and sequels. We get him in the Clone Wars. We get him in Rebels. He looks like a cardboard figure, but we get him in Rebels. But you know, and he's just I love his character so much. For me, and like for me personally, one of the most emotional moments for me for Yoda was in season 7 when we see his hologram, or when he sees his hologram, and everyone left the room. And this is after Mace called him a citizen, and then he's like, Ahsoka, anything else you have? Like anything else to say you have? And then she's like, no, I'm okay. And then he cracks a smile, like, okay, like, you know, like he knows, he still felt bad. He still felt bad from that time where she left the order, and you see it in his eyes. I don't know. It's just like you know, like he asked her to come back, like you know. Because he felt bad for everything, and he knows the Jedi were corrupt. He knows that they started being corrupt, but he always had this. And we see, oh my God, season 6. When we see season 6, his like towards the end of season 6, those last 4 episodes, his arc was beautiful. I like how Yoda sees everyone as his apprentice still, because he always has that initial training, the lightsaber training as younglings. So he's trained Ahsoka. Well, you know, most of them, like. He can't train everyone, but majority of them, and we know he trained Ahsoka in lightsaber at a very young age. So when he always has that father-like, and that's what I feel like he was doing with Ahsoka. Like he still cares, even though they know that's not the Jedi way, but he has those feelings, and then he's very respectful too. When Qui-Gon's teaching him, he accepts an apprentice role to Qui-Gon, and he doesn't just, well, I'm Master Yoda. I'm still Master here. So Yoda accepts when he needs to be trained. He accepts his he doesn't at the time, but post Revenge of the Sith, he accepts his failings. He knows he messed up on multiple times. In the Clone Wars with Sidious, I think he's greatly disappointed that he was sitting toe to toe with this Dark Lord, who was like how me and you are just like literally sitting. Like it feels like we're sitting right next to each other. That's how close they were, like in the same Senate chambers, and he never had any idea. So I think he's very disappointed, and
man, overall character,
Yeah.
I think it's amazing, and I think one of the only acceptable solo films that we need in the future is going to be a Yoda film, man. And I think with High Republic, they can really give us a good Yoda story
I'm
now.
gonna ask you that. Do you think they'll touch on him? Do you think we'll get some of him in the Acolyte?
Yeah. So spoiler alert, guys. I've read the two new High Republic books, and they so far have only referred to Yoda, and then he's in one scene, and it's at the very end. And they even at 700 years old, he's still like the top dog. He's a grandmaster, but he's grandmaster with two other Jedi, so there's three grandmasters, which is very weird. I didn't know
really
that.
cool. Yeah, and like we learn about this stuff, and I think the reason why they're bringing all this information out in these first two High Republic books is still it's going to tie in with the Acolyte. It's you reading these books will help you when the Acolyte comes out. I think that's a really cool thing.
Yeah, and then the fact that there's three and there's only one in the Clone Wars, like why is Mace, which Mace Windu was being groomed to be a Grandmaster, but why is he not a Grandmaster? Yeah. What's the rules and what skills do you need to possess? Like, what is Mace Windu of all people lacking to become a Grandmaster? And I think that with these stories we'll find out.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to a tragic moment that I think Yoda's going to be. I think they're going to put Yoda. They're going to put his back to the wall. And you're going to see exactly why he's the Grandmaster. So there's going to be a story that, okay, that's Yoda. Wow, that's amazing.
And what I like about this character is that we see his ups and downs. We see his highs, but we also see his lows. We see his failure, and we see that he had to live with his failure, which is why he went into exile. It's really cool to see like this kind of character that's just not only seen as the high road, but he has his mistakes as well. And I feel like it makes him more human-like, and I feel like it makes him more relatable to us as humans. You know, we see someone that has failures, and it's like, okay, I can relate to that because I have my own failures. We have our own failures, but how do we pick up from them? You know, what do we do to pick up our mess and pick up from our failures to learn from them, to be better, to better ourselves, to improve? And with him, he went into exile, but what did he do with it towards the end? He eventually became the influence of what a Skywalker, the complete opposite of the Skywalker blood, and which is the hope, which is the light, which is the last. You know, he had fears in the beginning of what the last Skywalker was, but he turned things around. He was hesitant in the beginning, but he turned things around, and you know, ultimately, he's part of the reason why there was balance around the Force. And you see the same thing with Luke when he talks to Luke. He's like, the greatest teacher failures, you know, and those little small words stick with you. And he's wise. He's I just love his character. And I think that's a perfect. I think that's a perfect number 2 to have.
Yeah, and he would be my number 1 if we took out a Legends character. So
I figured.
I know the truth on your number 2. So
you do not.
Let's hear it.
It's not. Listen, this is no. The thing is,
let's hear it.
With my number 1 and number 2, it's I can't. You can basically just say number 1 for both. I just can't put number 1. I'm not doing number 1 and number 2. It's not happening. So this is my number. I have 2 number 1s. They're just I can't put one above the other. I just can't. I'm sorry. I can't do it. So I'll just say number 2. But it's not like, you know what I mean?
Who do you got?
Okay. I know you though. I know what you're gonna. I know your reaction.
I know the truth.
No, but you don't though. It's the same.
This is our podcast, and the people demand truth.
The truth is, Warrior Nerd. Okay,
Ahsoka is his number 2, and his number 1 is who?
No, it's the same. I keep them at the same. I don't rank one above the other. I don't rank one above the other. My number 1. So I'll just say my first number 1 is Anakin / Vader. My other number 1 is Ahsoka. That's it.
Okay.
I don't put one above the other, and I refuse to put one above the other. It's those 2. Those are the ones so I can combine them together, and that's it. So let's get into. I'll get into Anakin / Vader first. For me, whenever I would do rankings or something like that, I'd always put Anakin like 1/2, and then I would put Vader 3rd. I always saw them, for me personally, I always saw them as like, this is just me. I always saw them as 2 different people. And it's nothing bad, but like I always saw like I love Anakin's rise and I love this fall. And I don't know, it might be a weird thing, but I love the tragedy. I like that tragedy aspect of things. I always liked what Anakin did in terms of, I'll get into Anakin, then I'll get into Vader. But I always liked his his type of demeanor towards things. His type of I like his type of demeanor for his unconventional way of doing things. He would never follow the rules. He'd just do his own thing. And that was always something like, if it works, like stick with it, and if it's not broke, don't fix it. And he's always had that type of mentality. He's always had he's always done his own thing, and his own thing always 90% of the time worked. Now he's had some failures, but I always liked his, I was just obsessed with that rise and fall and that conflict within him. You know what I mean? Because we all have conflict within us, within our lives. Nothing's just sweet perfect. I love that so much. I always love that so much. And he was a character ever since my childhood that just stuck with me, of really what like something so relatable. And I think out of any character in Star Wars, for me, he's the most relatable. And that's why it was a human like thing where I was able to relate so much. So that was him. And if we go into Vader, with Vader, again, I see Anakin as Vader as two different. Most people do. Most people don't. They see him as the same. For me, the reason why I see them as two different is because he was so twisted. Anakin was always there deep inside. And the more content we get, the more we see that. We see, when he picks up Ahsoka's saber in season 7, Vader wouldn't do that. Anakin would do that. Not Vader. So we do see hints of it. And Anakin was always there truly, but he was so twisted, he became a different person until the very end, which he ultimately came to the light. And I think he was so, the way he lived his life on Vader's castle, the way he lived his life, like he didn't have a life. He would literally sit there in pain and agony on a planet like with lava, and basically was just sitting there in his castle thinking of all the mistakes he's done. You know what I mean? And it's just, I don't know. That's
when you picture the Force,
yeah.
You have the dark side and the light side in your mind. So your Vader's sitting here. Is Anakin in his subconscious talking to Vader like, no, don't do that, or is it? Because to me, it's the same. It's not like that. To me, when Vader makes a choice, it's Anakin's choice. I always pictured I picture Vader's evil choices to be Anakin, but just so fueled with rage and anger that he just doesn't care. Yeah. I don't care if I kill these 20 people because I don't have Padme anymore. I have nothing left except to serve the Emperor. That's how I see it. But do you see it as his brain is split? One side's Anakin and Vader just has control of him at first, or how do you see it?
I think it was a thing. And see, this is why I'm always conflicted with this. But like, I see it as a thing where it's like he's Anakin Skywalker, but I think that it's like a thing where it's like, okay, picture you. I don't know.
Have you seen the new Venom with Tom Hardy?
I did not know.
Okay, because Venom is essentially controlling Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy tries to make a choice, and then Venom just comes out and he's like, "No, we're doing this," and then they have to do it because Venom has control of the body, but Tom Hardy is still thinking. So, if you had seen that movie, it'd be a good example.
Yeah, I see it as a thing where it's like, when you get a new job, say you get a new job and you don't enjoy your job, but you're there every single day and something's inside of you. It's like, oh my God, I want to go out and say, let's just use streaming. I actually want to be out there and I want to stream right now. Yeah. But you're like, no, I just have to do my thing, whatever. And like, I have to put on a fake face and do it. I think that's kind of how I see it. He has like this, he's like showing up for work every day basically, and he's not who he wants to be. But he lives with his decisions. And there's just one scene that sticks with me so much. And when we watched the 4-hour cut, I said, pay attention to the scene. It's when they transition from when Padme's funeral and they see her, and they transition into Luke's theme, like the new the Hope theme song, the music score, and it shifts directly into a down, sadding Vader's theme. Anakin's betrayal, whatever the case may be, and it shifts in, and all you see is Vader and Palpatine looking around the horizon, looking at the Death Star being built. Yeah, and that right there, that scene, what sticks with me is that the fact of like it just brings me from the beginning of the movie when Anakin and Padme were so excited about their child and everything. Towards the end, you see how much things change. You see the death of her, and then you see what he's become, and he has to live with this decision. You see him walking across the board. Like, it's just, I don't know. So for me, I don't know. I personally see them as like, I see them as the same person. Yes, they are deep inside the same person, and his heart is always there. But like when ranking them, when looking at like their like characters, they're just too different. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's hard to explain. It's
so with this topic, I have to go right to my number one. Of course, it's Revan. So with Revan, there was a moment where he's a Jedi all the way through, and then he tries to take on the Emperor at the time in a 2v1, him and Malik versus the Emperor, and he wasn't powerful at all. Like he's a Jedi Knight at this point, and he's like, well, we can take out the Emperor. We just won the Mandalorian Wars, and the Emperor was able to dominate his mind and literally turn him into a Sith, like just by like controlling his mind. So Revan to me is like what I was saying earlier. Like there's a Jedi Revan in his brain telling him, no, don't do it. But then there's a dark side Revan that's like, we have to, like a robot, So then he goes back, and then he's attacked by Bastila and the Jedi strike team, which fracture his brain. So when he wakes up, the Jedi pured his mind, and he's Revan again. In Anakin's story or Maul's story, I feel like they still have a choice. Yeah. Like Vader, he might lose this battle, but what does he have to lose? He could, while they're watching the Death Star, why can't he just pull out his saber and try to strike down Palps? Maybe Palps kills him, but what does he have left to lose? He could stop so I get this is a great discussion. With Vader, I get the job reference is really good because you have to go to work, you need the paycheck. What's in it for Vader though? Like does he still want to rule the Empire, or does he truly just want to have Padme back and everything? Like I don't get his will to live, and maybe it's the Force willing him to Luke Skywalker. Maybe that's another way to look at it too. Why does Vader not just sit here and end everything? Well, he still has a role to play. Maybe the Force won't allow him to do that, or he can feel it in the Force. Yeah, we don't know how it works. It could be he could be sitting there and there's something. Don't do it. Don't kill the Emperor. There's something else we have to do before our time in this world's over. And maybe that's it. Because with Revan, he was forced to be a dark side user. That's why when people ask me, why is Revan your favorite, or which is your favorite Revan, it's Jedi Knight Revan all the way, because that's truly who Revan is. In the books,
Anakin, same exact.
Yeah, with the story of Revan, it'll take all day, but there's a part where he goes to fight the Emperor a second time. He leaves, and he's like, I'm going to fight him again as a Jedi Master. So he goes, and he fails again. He literally fails twice at this point. He didn't directly fight the Emperor, but one of the Emperor's lackeys ambushed him, and now he's controlled. For 2 years, he's in a prison cell. Yeah. And the only time the whole time he's thinking about is Bastila. So it's the same as Anakin thinking about Padme. And then as soon as he gets freed, he gets a holocron of Bastila, and he just sits in a cave and just stares at it. That's Revan to me, a family man. Yeah, he just wants to be. Everything that he does is for the greater good of everybody, not just Bastila, but for everybody. Yeah. And I don't ever look at as Revan as a Sith, and I feel like if he had, he's just always trying to look out for the good, and Anakin is too. But then he got a little blindsided by Padme because he's out. He'll help everybody. So he'll help Padme first. Yeah. So that's the small differences there. But in the end, he was about the true Anakin. I think once he was unblinded by all that, he's wanting to defeat the Emperor, save his son Luke, and now he knew at the very last moment that he also has a daughter as well in Leia. So. Yeah, it's really good, man. I think their overall story arcs are
very similar, and we're going to do
really good.
You and I spoke about this. We're going to do a whole topic discussion in one day on the similarities and differences between these two, because it'll allow me to explore more about Revan, and it'll allow you, obviously, what I know about Anakin and how it influenced my childhood, because Anakin was my childhood hero. You know, he was the one I looked up to as a kid. He was the one that I related to the most. I always say it all the time. I carried his little starfighter around with me everywhere. I literally did everything. Everything was around Anakin. So I totally understand you. But for number one, again, same thing as the last one, 2 number ones. It's just how it is for me. I can't choose between the two as Ahsoka Tano, and everyone knows that. The reason why it's Ahsoka is because what Ahsoka. Well, first of all, I've always loved the character. I've always loved her as a character. But I will be honest with you. There's a deeper meaning to this character that now we're getting into when we talk about like top 10. Maybe your 5 through 10 might be, your 6 through 10 might be like just characters you enjoy. But if you've noticed, the more closer we get to number 1, the more personal it's getting, the more personal you relate to. You know, I'm sure you have a relation to Revan that in your personal life where you can like kind of look at Revan and be like, I relate to that. You know, what would Revan do in this situation? You know what I mean? The thing is with Ahsoka, what sticks with me so much about this character is because no matter what she does, no matter what happens in any situation, she always finds the light out of the situation. She always looks for the good in everybody, you know? And there's no matter how dark things may seem, there's always hope. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. And that's what she defines. And that's what I take with me, not only in my previous situations in my life, but also within little things such as this pandemic or larger scale things. No matter how dark things may seem, if you have a loved one you lost or a relationship or a friend or something you lost in your life, there's always going to be something out there. There's always things will get better. No matter, just keep your head up, work on yourself, improve, and there will be light. And this is the definition of who she is as a character. Not only that, but the actress that portrays her, having that personal, like having something personalized for our community. When she said "Merry Christmas" to our community, first of all, when I first saw it, I broke down in tears. I couldn't control myself when I saw the video for the first time. But what it did for me was it wasn't a necessarily thing for me. It was for the community. But what it did for me was it made me feel even more attached to this character than I ever was before. And it's like the words that were said within you. You can close your eyes, and Shine Darkly said it. You close your eyes and you listen to that video, and you're literally it's like you're having a conversation with Ahsoka. And it's what the things that she said is that, you know, things get tough, but there's light. There's always light. And she looked at the light within the clones. She refused to kill any of the clones. She never killed any of the clones. She stunned them because she knows that they're humans. Not every Jedi would at the end make a burial for each and every one of them, put their sticks up with their helmets to honor them, you know, and she just
move on. Right.
She just had so much going on. She lost her master, you know, and which was a big brother to her. And there's just so much about this character that she has to go through and endure. And I just love how she just comes up on top. And I believe, while she says, I am no Jedi, I believe she's what the true definition of what a Jedi should be, what a Jedi should empower. And that's what the Jedi, and we're going to explore more about the High Republic in times prior to the Clone Wars. But the definition of a Jedi is what she even says. You know, as you know, Jedi were supposed to be keepers of the peace, but ever since a Padawan was a soldier, well, she originally becomes what a Jedi should be. And that's just my point of view. I think she can be an inspiration to many across all ages. You know, she embodies a female strong character. If you're a young girl, you can look up to her.
Right.
You know, anything you can look up to this character, and I feel like she's suitable for everyone.
When I'm looking at it, I can see Ahsoka in you, and then what you preach on the stream, and then what you just said. And I'm trying to picture that with Revan, and I think I just narrowed it down. So Revan in the Mandalorian Wars, so all the Jedi, pretty much in the layman terms, they're all sitting around at the temple, and the galaxy's at war. And the Jedi are peacekeepers, and they as peacekeepers, as far as like political diplomats, they don't get involved with wars. They try to stop them once the wars happen. They don't get involved. Mm-hmm. And Revan's just I just picture Revan walking around the temple like, no, we got to get out there and help these people. We have to go. We have to fight. And then eventually he's just like, screw the Jedi Council. I'm a Jedi Knight. I'm taking as many Jedi Knights with me, and we're going to go to war. And that to me, you know, no, it's not a surprise to anybody. Like from the Revanites, like I've served in the military, and I would never allow, from what I could help, you know, other people to be like if America went to war, I'd be like one of the first ones. Like I have to protect America. I have to protect citizens and family members and you and the Revanites. I have to do this. And I think Revan, he was sitting at home and he's just like, I got to go. And I think that would be my attitude. Yeah. And now that I think about it, I mean, I really see that. And I think that's a good analogy.
Helping others. And that's what these two characters coming across in common. And I know you're not going to, well, no, it is what it is. It's true. This is why this is the basis. And this is the point of us streaming. It's because it's because of what we love. We love it. We enjoy it so much. But in the end of the day, the deep thing of why I wanted to start streaming, and I have not changed my Twitch bio since I started streaming. Yeah. Just to bring positivity into the communities, to help others. And, for you as well. And that's just something that we take that seriously. And if you've noticed that it's not a coincidence that these two characters share the same exact qualities. They share the same exact heart. It's what they love, and they put their loved ones and who they care for before themselves sometimes. And, that's just the reality.
Yeah, when we get into, so we guys, we don't know what the next podcast is going to be. If it's just us, we'll probably go with the Revan and Anakin talk. Yeah. If we bring on a guest, we'll let you guys know. But the next one, when we get to the Revan talk, there's a lot of cool things that a lot of people don't know, because I've read everything there is to know about Revan multiple times, and some of the cool stuff in his later years, I think we'll really see Revan as a different type of character. Because the cool thing is, to me, is when people come into the chat or I talk to people about Revan, they go, Darth Revan? I'm like, excuse me? He's literally a Darth Revan for less than 2 years out of his like complete lifespan. So he's not really dark. And then everyone knows him with two lightsabers. Yeah. He only uses that one time, and it's when he is a Force ghost, when he appears to meet your Surik on Corbin. Every other time in the Mandalorian Wars, when he fights the Emperor, anytime he only has one saber. But most people only see him as a Darth. I think just because he looks cool.
I want to see more of him. I really want to see more of him.
We'll get into him.
And I know you're going to teach me every step of the way, so that's going to be awesome.
I will show you the ways of the Force. So we were going to do duels, guys, but I don't think we're going to have time. So
we'll get into that another evening for sure.
Could be another podcast. So next Saturday, regardless of the topic or if we bring on somebody or anything, we'll do a giveaway. We decided on Black Series, but we don't know what character. So
we'll run polls throughout the week. We'll communicate with everybody what everyone's heart is at with that, but it'll be a very special Black Series giveaway.
Could be a good one.
Set up next Saturday. So it's just a way of thanking you guys and everyone here for everything over the past, it's been 3 months now? No, 4 months. And for 300 subscribers on our podcast that, honestly, I can honestly agree. It's a good warrior can agree with me on this, but this is something that we, this is our highlight of the week, basically. We stream every single day, but it is also so much fun just to hang out, not really focused on any game, but just to hang out and just talk Star Wars and just have a great time, which is what we do anyways on stream. But
so it's always fun. Once we get going on a topic, then something else happens, and then we can get really into an in-depth. We can cut the layers away, the base layers away, and we get really take a deep dive into these characters.
Yeah, so that would be perfect
with
next Saturday.
And we're gonna come up with more things, guys. Too. I have a few ideas, but this won't be obviously we've already done a giveaway. Sergeant in the chat has won our last big giveaway, the Galaxy's Edge Skywalker Saber. So this will be a small one, and just hopefully you guys appreciate it because we appreciate you. What do you got going on this week?
We'll be live tomorrow. We actually did a Darth Vader Black Series giveaway last stream, but the winner declined it, Tyler DNF. So we are going to do a reroll on it tomorrow at any point during the stream. And for this upcoming week, we obviously had the reveal of the new Starting Soon screen. We actually have the new Be Right Back screen that will arrive in, I believe, 3 days, 2 to 3 days. So
that's awesome.
Hopefully it'll be.
And it looks so. Ahsoka looks so good just standing there, man. I was like, man.
There's this small details. There's small details about it that I didn't really notice in the beginning, but like the artist that worked on this, if you look so carefully, if you look at her facial expression, right, when the Starting Soon flashes lights, you see the reflection on her face flash lights as well. And like every single thing is to a detail. Like if you look at the floor, if you look at the concrete on the pavement, you'll see the puddles of the water from the rain and how it kind of like it's like growing. It's insane. Not necessarily growing, but you see the puddles on the rain. It's just it was really it was really amazing. And I know you have some special stuff that I kind of seen. I'm not going to talk about it, but you have.
No, I'll try to give as much information as I can. So there's still a few people. Okay, we have the lower levels project that I've been working on since November. Like this is like one of the longest things I've ever done in my life as far as content creation goes. Yeah. With the lower levels guys, we're currently doing a giveaway. It is active. It's on YouTube. You have to click the link down below, the Star Wars Quick Clips, and then
for this. Yeah.
Then all you have to do is follow the instructions. It's very simple. You're looking for the star maps on the other. There's 4 videos. It's at the very end. Just get the grid coordinates, look at the map, match it up, and then message me the planets that you found, and then you give access to the next part of the giveaway. So it's a 3-part giveaway. So once you get to the second part, which is you discover where the temple is located, then you have to gain entrance into the lower levels. And I promise you that the giveaway, the winner, is going to be a very happy human being. And the losers, or those that don't participate, the losers will be very happy too. But the people who don't participate, months from now, they're going to be like, it was such an easy giveaway. I should have just tried it, because I got plans, man. And I will have, I showed Serpents earlier. We just got the final concept art of the last piece. There's 4 pieces. And we're literally like a week or 2 away from having it all done. I don't know how long it's going to take me to put it all together after that. So I don't have it at like a final date, but oh man, it's stressful, dude. I've been stressed out about it.
It's exciting. And I think it speaks volumes on how much you care for the community and how much you just love to have fun and just love what you do. So it's special. So
yeah. And I'm having so much fun too, man. And there's good things for the future, man. I'm really, really digging it.
Yeah.
But the stream, I didn't stream Friday because I went out of town for the rock climbing thing. I kind of want to do a small stream before, after you get off, between the time you get off and the time I go to work tomorrow. But I haven't decided yet. If I do, guys, I'll post it in the Discord. I'll post it everywhere so you guys will know. If not, Monday, 3:15 p.m. Central Time.
Perfect. I'm so excited.
All right.
For absolutely everything, and we will be back next Saturday for the giveaway, a Black Series giveaway. We'll be starting polls off tomorrow and Monday for it. We might set up an easy poll link. I'll let everybody know. We'll communicate with that, but it'll be a lot of fun. So
awesome.
Thank you guys so much for absolutely everything. Stay safe, and may the Force be with you.
Always. Peace.